Alright guys, so welcome to Stoak'd Studio, and this is going to be the first of hopefully many of Let's Draw Together series. So what we're going to do is draw this guy right here, so the tarpon with a diver and some silver sides, because that's what I do for a profession, but I do enjoy drawing, so this is going to be the first one of many. So we're going to start off by creating a document. I would start off with just doing screen size. That's what I've got right now. On top of that, you need to go into the YouTube description and look for their Patreon, where you can find the resources for this tutorial, which are free, but you need to download these stamp brushes. So there's a tarpon and a diver that I created, and that'll help you do this particular tutorial without having to draw it and all the rest of it. So let's start off with a black, and then let's make sure we're on the tarpon stamp brush. So once you've uploaded these up to Procreate, then you can just jump straight into this tutorial. So you can just change the size, plonk them in there, just make them a little bigger so it takes up some of the screen. That's it. And now what we're going to do here is create a new layer. Going to make it a clipping mask, and we're going to start our first color. So this is going to be the inner color of the cave. So you can just use, I'll just stick with now the Procreate ones that come with it. I just go for a script pen, turn the brush size up, and then, wow, that's not the pen I wanted. There we go. Better? Yeah, let's get rid of that. Okay. So what we're going to do is just go around the outside of this. Doesn't have to be brilliant, because obviously you've set your layer to a clipping mask, so it adds the area, so it will stay within side the tarpon, or whatever you do actually create. It will keep it inside the lines, which is pretty cool. So just go around the outside. Just make sure everything joins up and you've covered the area that you want covered, like so, and then just color drop, yeah, and then just find somewhere. If you have a color drop and you want to make sure you have done color drop and nothing's missing, you can just change your background color, and then that will show you if you've missed something, basically, yeah. So that's kind of the E or trick on how to do it, pretty easy. Alright, so next color, layer, clipping mask. Now all I'm going to do is move this down to get a darker tone, and then again make sure I'm on the same new layer, make sure it's clipping mask, and then I'm going to go in and go over the top of this layer, like so. Just going to bring in a little bit, because this is going to be the second part of the cave. So just bring it up. Yeah, that seems about right. Bring this in a bit. Yeah, that'll do. Then color drop. Yeah, so it covers it all on top, so it covers that part. You're just looking for the outside, and there's a trick I'm going to show you to get all this back anyway. Alright, the third layer is also going to be a clipping mask, and then you're going to choose an even darker tone, and then this is going to be the outside of the cave. So this one you're going to have to concentrate just a little bit, so that you can get a feel for what your cave wants to look like. So best thing to do is I usually just go around the outside of the drawing. Now don't worry about if you're sloppy on the tail or the head, because we're just going to go over that with a clip and mask in black and bring the picture back. So don't worry too much about it, but this you want to get kind of a feel for. So bring your brush size down and then kind of just do some areas, kind of try and make it look cave-like, should I say? Yeah. Bring it up a bit. Just like some rocks and whatever you feel is kind of natural, I guess. We'll bring this one up a bit more. And then just make sure it all gets filled in. So whatever you feel is kind of cave-like-esque. However you want to do it, basically. So just so it's got some kind of difference in it. Okay, so that's kind of cave-esque, should I say. Alright, now the cool stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the mask layers. Okay. So this is where I get confused, but hopefully, bear with me, we should be fine. So what you're going to do is tap on the layer, do mask layer, and then we are going to go to brush, which will be on script, change this to black, and then, yeah, okay, so good. So if we have any problems, we're fine. Okay, so this cuts everything back, yeah? So what we actually want to do here is go down to the middle layer, okay, because we want to get at this blue layer. So we're going to call this a mask layer. And then we're going to go in and then color back. So try and remember you got three colors. So you got this dark color, this color in the middle which is completely covered, and then your actual blue color. So this you need to mask up like so, which I did want to do. Oh yeah, I'm on a mask, can't do that. So just turn up your brush. The reason I'm doing this on a mask is because when I bring back some of these details, so the coral, it's a lot easier than trying to do it the other way, which is on top of the layer and hoping it blends in, doesn't change color, all that kind of fun stuff. So with a mask, you can do this. So now you can see there's three colors there and you've got a mask, okay, on top. So you've got the inner, middle, outer, okay. So now you could go in and say, look, one of these parts looks way out of place. So going with my black, take this back to like there. This one could be a bit higher. And that is good. And then if you change this to white, it actually brings it back. Yeah, so it's white scale or black scale. If you do grey, it's more like an opacity, it kind of burns out somewhat. So black or white, black takes it away and white brings it back. Okay, so I think we've got our three layers now, a bit more cave-esque, as it were. Yeah, looks like a cave. Alright, so we can go into this layer and then we can bring this back a bit to make the inner layer a bit more cave-esque-ish, should I say. Now, what I said before, what we're going to do here is do coral. So you're going to change this to white. And then just zoom in a bit. And you're just going to bring your brush size way down. Just do some squiggly lines. Just like some features. Maybe a sponge. If you want to do more detail, you could go back to the black brush, or black, and then zoom in and then do like specks on it. Is that how sponges look underwater? So it looks like a sponge. Then we can go back to our white brush, carry on doing some coral pieces. Something like that. So it looks like a cave, yeah? So now we have our cave piece, yeah? So now we're going to insert our diver. So we're going to go to this layer here, and what you're going to do is drop in on top. So that's where you want to drop in. So you can see now it's on a clipping mask, which is good. Now the cool thing is you can do two different things. You can put him on this layer and it looks like he's coming through the cave. I'll show you in a second. Or you can put him on the top layer. It's up to you, and then he'll be right on top. But if you put him in between this part, he's going to be in between these two cave layers, yeah? So let's just get black again. Go to Tarpon tutorial brushes, get your diver, and then just, what do I do that now? Dab him in there. See how he's disappeared? Because he's in between the two layers, yeah? So we'll kind of zoom in and change him a bit. So now he's kind of more part of the scenery, yeah? So he can disappear in there, or you can bring him up a level in between here. And that changes everything because it's not a clipping mask, so we don't want to do that. Let's get him back. So we could turn him a clipping mask off. That's why, it's because it's parented. So we're just going to leave him there. No touchy. Alright? I'll have to explain it a different way some other time. But see, it feels like a bit more fun if he's kind of like this, trying to go through the cave. So we're going to put him here. Now, a cool thing I did before, which was actually to drop his opacity. So he kind of blends in better. And then don't forget, like, you can flip this guy horizontal, rotate him, make him upside down, whatever you want. You don't have to use that selection tool. So we could put him over here instead, you know. That looks better. Okay, so we'll leave him there. Alright, so now it's time for the silver side. So again, we're just going to put another layer on top. So inside this layer, this is why I actually did it the way I did, because it looks better. So I'm going to go to brush. Probably don't use these a lot, but you're going to go spray paints, flicks, and then you're going to go to a whitish color to start off with, and you're just going to brush downwards, just little taps, like so. That's it, and then you're going to go up a level, brush again. So silver sides are like a bait ball, basically, like free food for tarpon and stuff like that. And especially where I'm from in Cayman, they get like big schools of these guys. They're pretty impressive, I must admit. But it's up the level again. until you get the desired effect. And you can go mental. I mean, you could go all the way over here, and then just keep ranging different styles, and that will give you a kind of idea. But try and keep it circular in some respects, but they do kind of filter into a tunnel. And there you go. That is your tarpon with a very cool background. So your next thing, if you don't like the way the cave is, all I do to finish it off is to not add it there, sorry. Add a layer on top. If you don't like the way the black is, add a layer on top, choose black, make sure it's set to clipping mask, and you're on the right. Let's go back to your calligraphy pen. Cool. And then just do whatever you want to do over the top. You know, do a special effect, I don't know, whatever you feel is good. But if you're going to color drop, just make sure that when you do the color drop, these are joined together like so, and then you can color in whatever, or make the paintbrush bigger, because obviously being a clipping mask, this is going to be over the top anyway, so you can stay inside the tarpon. But if you want to do another effect, you can, like kind of an altar cave, like so. Just bring that in. Up to you, whatever you feel like. Do you want to go that far? So it takes away from that. Yep, that's good. So that gives you another kind of cave feel. You can go around the outside to make it even better if you want, like around here. And just do some more coral things, whatever you want to do. Don't have to keep it all simple, but that'll give you the idea of how to do it. To finish off the project, because I had a little problem in the last bit, I pinched all these layers together because I've got my desired effect, and pinched it down towards the original stamp. What we're going to do here is duplicate the layer, okay, and then we can give it a back shadow just like on the other ones. So all you're going to do here is press the selection tool. Now it's going to get really weird, but don't worry too much. So we're just going to stretch the tarpon out, go to adjustments, and then we're going to bring the opacity down. Okay, so that's kind of a little effect you can do. And then if you want, I mean, you could do multiples of these. Like you could duplicate again, go down, press the selection tool, stretch them out, and then kind of put it somewhere, gives you kind of that effect. And then obviously the last thing to do to finish everything up would be to find yourself a cool color. So depending on what you want to do, make it stand out. How about that? Yeah? Or too much pink? Or maybe another watercolor. We'll go into the grays, that'll make it really pop. Like crazy pop. Yeah? But you can play around with that so you can get a desired effect. But in essence, that's the end of the tutorial. Hopefully it was helpful. Feel free to leave comments if you struggled or you couldn't download brushes for Patreon. Let me know so I can like fix it, because obviously I'm going to be putting more of those brushes up and trying to do more of these tutorials. But hopefully included in this, hopefully you learned like masks, clipping masks, you know, a little bit extra added. You know, you could have just gone in there and just detailed this out instead of like drop colouring and then taking it away with a mask. So that was kind of the process I wanted you to see, was that if you were trying to do these coral bits, when you click on here to get the colour and then try and draw over the top of it, sometimes it changes colour, it gets really weird and frustrating. So this was kind of an easier way of doing this, and hopefully it helped and got you through, showed you some more layers. And basically once you're all happy, if you want to get like happy with the image, you can just pinch them together and then that's your final result. And I mean, you can still change the background color, but other than that, once you come out of Procreate, you can't change or undo any of this process. I mean, right now I could undo the color change and the layers, but as soon as you pinch them, go into gallery, go back in, that's it. Can't do anything more. So just make sure if you do pinch layers together that you're definitely happy with the last image, that you're not going to play around with it, otherwise you're going to have to put clipping masks and other masks on top or layers to try and build it up again. But thanks for watching, hopefully it was helpful, and until we do another Let's Draw Together, see you later.